Level 1. The Runner. You are 14 years old. Your phone is taken before you understand why. A different one is placed in your hand. Already unlocked. Already ready. You wake up before the sun because someone else is already knocking on the door. Not your door, the apartment next to yours. You listen without moving. You've learned that already. Stay quiet. Stay invisible. By the time you step outside, the street is still gray. You are given a phone that is not yours. It has no contacts saved, only numbers that appear and disappear. Your job is simple. You wait. When it rings, you answer. When they tell you to move, you move. You do not ask what you are carrying. You already know better than that. A small backpack sits at your feet. You pick it up. It's heavier than yesterday. You don't open it. You walk the same route you walked last week, but slower this time. You've been told to look normal. You try to remember what normal looks like. At school, you don't talk much anymore. You used to. Now you sit in the back and watch the clock. When the phone vibrates, your chest tightens. You raise your hand, ask to go to the bathroom, and leave. No one stops you. No one asks. You follow instructions exactly. Turn left, wait, sit, stand, walk, hand off the bag, take the envelope, don't look at the person, don't remember their face. You make your first money that week. It's more than your family has seen in months. You don't explain it. You leave it on the table. Your mother doesn't ask. She just stares at it for a long time before putting it away. You begin to understand your place. You are not important. You are useful. The older ones don't talk to you unless they need something. When they do, their voices are calm, not angry. That's worse. You learn that calm means permanent. Mistakes are not corrected. They are removed. One afternoon, another runner doesn't show up. No explanation is given. His name is not mentioned again. You notice how quickly everyone adjusts. A new kid stands where he used to stand by the end of the day. You start checking your phone more often. You rehearse every instruction in your head before you follow it. You don't want to be replaced. At 14, you don't think about the future. You think about the next hour, the next call, the next delivery. You walk faster now. You don't look around as much. You've learned that seeing too much is just another way of making a mistake. At night, when everything is quiet, you lie awake and listen to the city. You realize something slowly, something you don't say out loud. You are already inside, and there is no clear way out. Level 2. The Transporter. You are 17 years old. You don't carry backpacks anymore. You carry vehicles. The first time they hand you keys, it feels different, heavier than any bag you've held, not because of the metal, but because of what it means. You are trusted now, or at least trusted enough to take on more risk. You wake before sunrise and check your phone. A location appears. No names, no explanations. You dress like someone with somewhere normal to be. That part matters now. The car is parked exactly where they said it would be. Clean, quiet. Nothing about it stands out. You slide into the driver's seat and adjust the mirrors. You've learned to look at everything without looking like you're looking. The trunk is already loaded. You don't open it. That rule hasn't changed. Your route is long. Across districts, across checkpoints, across places where uniforms mean something. Your hand stays steady on the wheel, but your mind runs ahead of you. You map exits, turns, places to disappear if something goes wrong. At 14, you followed instructions. At 17, you anticipate them. You stop for gas once. You don't make eye contact with anyone. You pay in cash. You leave quickly. Every minute outside the car feels exposed. The money is different now. It comes in thicker envelopes, enough to change things at home. Bills get paid faster. The fridge is full. Your mother still doesn't ask questions, but she watches you more carefully, like she's trying to recognize someone she used to know. You spend less time at school. Eventually, you stop going entirely. No one comes looking for you. That surprises you at first. Then it doesn't. You start running routes, weekly, sometimes twice a week. The fear you felt at 14 changes shape. It's no longer sharp and constant. It becomes quiet, controlled. You carry it like you carry the car, steady, forward, no sudden movements. But you see what happens to others. One driver gets stopped at a checkpoint. You hear about it later, not from the police, but from inside. His name is spoken once, then not again. Another disappears after missing a delivery window by an hour. You understand the message without it being explained. Time is not flexible. You begin to manage yourself like a system. Sleep at the same hours. Eat enough to stay alert. No alcohol. No distractions. Your life narrows into routes and returns. The older men start speaking to you differently. Not kindly, not harshly, just directly. You are no longer background noise. You are part of the operation. One night, after a long drive, you sit in the parked car a few seconds longer than usual, engine off, hands still on the wheel. You realize something has shifted. At 14, you were trying not to be noticed. At 17, you are trying not to fail. And those are not the same thing. You step out of the car and walk away without looking back. You never look back anymore. Not at the vehicles, not at the places, not at the people. You've learned that memory can become a liability, so you keep less of it. Level 3. The Collector. You are 21 years old. You no longer move things, you move people. The list is handed to you, paper only. Names, addresses, amounts. You memorize it, then it's gone. You walk into places like you belong. You don't introduce yourself. You don't need to. Envelopes are ready. Pass quietly. You count fast not to check, but to show. Then you leave. You keep a cut now. Small, but enough to change how you think. At 17, you managed routes. At 21, you manage people. Not everyone pays. You come back later. Same place, different tone. No threats, just silence. It's enough. If they stall, you leave. Then you return, not alone. The second visit is not conversation. It's correction. After that, no one is late again. Word spreads. Your area becomes stable, predictable. That's what matters. Others start asking you questions. You answer. You fix problems before they grow. You change patterns constantly. Time, order, movement. You are harder to read now. At home, you separate everything. Money, life, words. One night, a name disappears. You report it. The next day, the place is open again. New person, same envelope. You don't ask. At 21, you understand it clearly. You are no longer following the system. You are enforcing it. Level 4. The Cell Leader. You are 26 years old. You don't carry lists anymore. You assign them. Your location changes constantly. Apartment, back room, parked car, nothing fixed. That's the point. You don't arrive first. You don't arrive last. Timing is controlled now. There are people under you, some older. It doesn't matter. They report to you. You report upward. That line is clear. You don't move product. You divide it, assign it, control where it goes and where it stops. Money flows through you. Not yours, but part of it becomes yours. Enough to build a life that looks normal. But your real job isn't money. It's control. One of your drivers slips. Late, then later. You call him in. You listen. You watch. You decide before he finishes speaking. The next day, he's gone. Replaced. No explanation. No one asks. At this level, discipline is quiet. Mistakes don't echo. They disappear. You don't use phones for real information. You speak directly. Short. Clear. No room for error. Pressure comes from above. Targets rise. You expand into unstable areas. You test first. Small moves. Watch reactions. Adjust. At 14, you followed paths. At 26, you create them. You separate everything. Places, people, routine. You sleep less. Your mind doesn't stop. One night, another group moves into your area. You don't react. You observe. Then you adjust. Supply shifts. Routes slow. Pressure builds. Within a week, they're gone. No conflict. No noise. Just correction. At 26, you understand it fully. Power is not movement. It is control over movement. Level 5. The Regional Coordinator. You are 32 years old. You don't manage people anymore. You manage the people who manage people. Your world is no longer movement. It's information. Reports come in pieces, numbers, delays, patterns. You assemble them into something others can't see. You don't enter territories. You read them. You know which routes fail, which areas attract attention, which people become risks. You adjust quietly. A route slows, another expands, someone is reassigned, no explanation, the system shifts, and everyone adapts. Money moves differently now. Not envelopes. Streams. You don't count it, you monitor it. At 26, you controlled operations. At 32, you control structure. Meetings are quiet. No records. No direct words. Everything understood without being said. You don't threaten. You align. Pressure is constant, from above and below. So you prevent problems before they exist. You no longer see consequences directly. You see results, patterns, outcomes. At 21, you saw faces. At 32, you see systems. Your life is controlled, clean, distant. Nothing visible. That's the point. One report stands out. Too visible, too aggressive. You don't confront it. You reduce support, shift pressure. Within weeks, it corrects itself. No noise, no disruption, just adjustment. At 32, you understand the shift. You are no longer part of the machine. You shape how it runs. Level 6, the Director. You are 41 years old. You are no longer visible inside the system you helped build. Your name is not spoken in operational rooms. It does not appear in messages, reports, or decisions at the lower levels. You exist above that layer now, where involvement is indirect and distance is deliberate. Your day does not begin with urgency, it begins with review. Summaries prepared by others who will never meet you. Numbers reduced to clean reports. Trends highlighted. Irregularities flagged. You read slowly. Not because you need time to understand, but because understanding too quickly leads to mistakes. At 32, you shape structure. At 41, you define direction. You decide where expansion happens and where contraction is necessary. Entire regions grow or shrink based on your approval. You don't discuss individual routes or specific people. You discuss capacity, exposure, sustainability. Words have changed. So has everything else. Meetings are rare and controlled. When they happen, they are quiet. Few people in the room. Everyone already aligned before they arrive. Disagreement is handled before it becomes visible. You no longer give instructions. You give outcomes. Others translate them into action. A region underperforms. You don't ask why immediately. You compare it against 3 others. Look for deviation. Patterns that don't match expectations. When you speak, it is brief. Adjust allocation. Replace leadership. Reduce visibility. Within weeks, the numbers correct. You don't follow up. You move on. Money at this level is abstract. It exists in layers, distributed across systems that separate it from origin. You don't count it. You measure it. Growth. Stability. Risk. You maintain relationships that exist entirely outside the operational chain. Individuals who influence environments, not actions. Conversations are indirect. Nothing is stated plainly, but everything is understood. You spend more time managing silence than activity. Noise attracts attention. Attention creates pressure. Pressure breaks systems. Your role is to ensure that never happens. You rarely think about the lower levels anymore. Not the runners. Not the drivers. Not even the collectors. They exist, but only as functions within a larger model. That distance is complete now. At 21, you enforced outcomes. At 41, you are removed from them entirely. Your personal life is structured to match your position. Controlled appearances. Limited exposure. You are known in certain circles, but never fully understood. That is intentional. There are no sudden movements, no unnecessary risks. Everything is calculated, measured, contained. One evening, a report reaches you that doesn't fit. A pattern of small inconsistencies across multiple regions. Individually, they mean nothing. Together, they form something else. You don't react immediately. You observe, let it develop, confirm it's real. Then you act. Not by addressing the issue directly, but by restructuring the environment around it. You shift oversight, reassign authority, introduce new pressure points that expose what was hidden. Within a month, the inconsistencies disappear. So do the people responsible. You never meet them. You never hear their names. At 41, you understand the final truth of your position. You are no longer part of the system. You are the system, and everything below you moves, because you allow it to.